hat auch die letzten 30 Jahre hat er sehr oft auch in Mayapur in Indien gelebt und jetzt ist er auch wieder auf Reisen und ist auch jetzt hier gerade in Köln und wird heute auch den Vortrag geben.
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna, thank you for introduction. I didn't understand anything. I don't speak Deutsch.
Gibt es jemand, der kein Englisch versteht? Vielleicht Arme hoch? Der kein Englisch versteht. Okay, wir haben dann 1, 2, 3. Irina Mataji? Bist du hier?
Ja, das ist los.
Irina Mataji. Or Indoleka, would you like to translate? Okay. Would you? Irina Mataji, würdest du von Englisch auf Russisch übersetzen? Wir haben super. Kannst du das sagen auf Russisch, dass die, die kein Englisch verstehen, dass du übersetzt? Ich kann das nicht auf Russisch sagen, ich kann kein Russisch.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
okay, super.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Jaya Kunja Dehari
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Mata ki jai.
Very bold.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna to everyone, all dear devotees, friends and guests, those who come in today. I am happy to be here in your association today. And thank you for joining this Sunday Law Feast program, which is sounds a little bit weird in the Western world. Sunday Law Feast. This is a different connotation of this word, but Prabhupada established it and he translated it. He said Sunday Law Feast means 4 things. Is anybody knows what this is all about? Prabhupada said so. Prabhupada said chanting, dancing, feasting and philosophy. Good program, huh? I like it. What is the main part? How do you think?
Prasadam.
Prasadam Bhakta. I'm also. So chanting and dancing is the main program. Prasadam is meant for energize our chanting and dancing. And this is philosophical part, you see. I am presenting philosophy. It's like not really exciting, a little bit boring. But just to understand why we're chanting and dancing. And those who chanting and dancing, they're already perfect. They don't need any philosophy. But although we are not on that level, so maybe we need little philosophy, just to get an idea what is going on here. So afterwards, we're going to chant, dance, and then great feast. It's a good program, huh? Yeah? Haribo! Sunday Law Feast ki jai. Hare Krishna. So I've been asked to speak on a little bit unusual topic. I mean, it's interesting. I think so. It's about this particular time, what is going on now. Does anybody knows what is the specific of this time, period of time of this year? It's a special time now. Special months. Do you know how you call it this month? Vaishaka, yes, absolutely. So we're now in the month of Vaishaka, and this is very specific, very special and significant month actually. For those who spiritually inclined and who like to make spiritual progress. Does anybody like to make spiritual progress? Here? Haribo, Gaura. So okay, we try to explain of the significance of this month. And there are a lot of things to say. That's why I want to just introduce this topic, just go through the Bhagavad Gita. So we'll read some verse we have on the board. And this Bhagavad Gita. By the way, I want to ask, is anybody here is the first time, for the first time? Somebody came first time, eh? Oh, 2, 3. Oh, that's nice. So welcome. So we're happy to have you here, and feel yourself as at home. So if you'll get any question, maybe I'm gonna use some terminology, Sanskrit and many different things. maybe somebody can sit next to and help, just to explain maybe some of the Sanskrit words.
It's not necessary. Thank you.
You sure? Or you ask along the way.
Yes.
So let us do like this. So is anybody has any questions during my class? Don't wait till the end. Just ask, and we discuss immediately. Is it okay?
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm gonna speak, you're gonna sleep, So, okay, Bhagavad Gita for newcomers. I have to say, Bhagavad Gita is widely read theistic science, and this is very special book. It is saying that someone who fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita without any personal, individual, motivated interpretation, but in disciplic succession, he will surpass all the Vedic wisdom and all the scriptures of the world. And the sincere reader will find in Bhagavad Gita that is contained in all other scriptures. And also, reader will find that which is not to be found elsewhere. So this is specific standard of Bhagavad Gita. And Acharyas, our spiritual masters, they are saying that it is like an essence of all the Vedic wisdom and summary study entire Vedic literature. And it is like all instructions which are leading to the ultimate goal of life, which is Krishna Prema. I like one verse, I just like to recite it. It's from Gita Mahatmya, written by Shankaracharya, who's a great scholar. So he also glorifies Bhagavad Gita, and he wrote this verse. It goes like this: Sarva Upanishada Gava Dotha Gopalanandanam Partha Vatsa Sudhir Doktha Dutha Gitamrita Mahat. So he said, it's a very beautiful poetry. He said, Gita Upanishad is the essence of all the Upanishads. Upanishads are considered to be crown jewels of all the Vedas. And it's like a cow, and Krishna like a cowherd boy. So he milking this cow, and he extracting the milk, which is nectar, nectarian instruction of Bhagavad Gita. And Arjuna like a calf, and he feeding him by this instruction of Bhagavad Gita. All the other sages and scholars and Vaishnavas, they also taken this milk, nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita like Arjuna. So let us take this nectar. Does anybody like nectar? Okay, let's drink the nectar. So everyone is ready. So we're going to read chapter 10, which is entitled Vibhuti Yoga. And we have a text on the board, number 35. Okay, I read Sanskrit. We start with the prayers. Normally we're doing prayers, little invocation, just to invoke auspiciousness and praying to our spiritual masters. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You can follow me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll read Sanskrit. Brihat Samatatha Samnam Gayatri Chanda Samaham Masanam Marga Shirshaham Rutunam Kusuma Karaham. Does anybody like to recite Sanskrit? Yeah. Somebody wants?
Brihat Samatata Samam
Follow.
Gayatri Chanda Samaham
Gayatri Chanda Samaham
Asana Marashisham Shoham
Masana Marga Shoham
Tunam Kusumakaraha
Ratunam Kusumakaraha. Maybe Mataji's also. Anyone else? Brihat Samatadvasamna Those who came first time, maybe try. You want?
It's very long.
Okay. Translation. Of hymns I am the Brihat Sama, sung to the Lord Indra, and of poetry I am the Gayatri verse, sung daily for Brahmanas. Of months I am November and December, and of seasons I am flower bearing spring. Krishna says. Purport. The months of November and December are considered the best of all months because in India grains are collected from the fields at this time and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is a season universally liked because it's neither too hot or too cold, and the flowers and trees blossom and flourish. In spring there are also many ceremonies commemorating Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, this is considered to be the most joyful of all seasons, and it is a representative of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Chalakaya Chakshurumritam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Okay, so Krishna tells to Arjuna about splendorous manifestation of his power in this world. So whoever wants to see Krishna in this world, is anybody wants to see Krishna in this world? Only one, two, three? Few around. So you can go for this chapter and read 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna reveals himself through the pages of Bhagavad Gita. And he explains that he is the essence of all beautiful things in this world. Splendor of of his power. And it's like everything which is most sublime and attractive in this world is not a Krishna himself, but that's his manifestation of his power. And that's called Vibhuti. And among the prominent things, there is also months, so the period of time or measurement of time. So Krishna also reveals himself through the measurement of time. And during the year, this is months of Margashirsha. Margashirsha corresponds to our calendar. It's like December, November. In India, it's the best time, because now I came from India 2 days ago. It's very hot there. It's like heat waves are going, like it's like very hot, like above 40 degrees. But here it's quite chilly weather. But in India, in December, November is the best time. So it's like moderation. It's a harvest, crops, people collecting crops and harvest and all these things. So it's a beautiful, soft, nice. And Krishna himself considered to be this month, Margashirsha. In our Vaishnava calendar, it's called Keshava. So there is a Vedic tradition, also Vaishnava tradition. So it is called Keshava Masa. And there is another month which is very dear to Krishna and dear to all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, which is the month of his beloved consort. Does anybody knows what is the month? Huh?
September is German.
September is a little bit, maybe that's for students in the school. Huh? Kartik, yes, exactly. So there is a Kartik month, which is in this year falls on, I think, beginning of October, like 9th of October, something like that. This is most beloved month most favorite month for Krishna's beloved consort, which is, her name is Srimati Radha, and that's her month. And there is another month which is very dear to girlfriend of Srimati Radharani, or Sakhi, and her name is anybody knows? According to the name of the title of this month, Vaishaka, her name is Vaishaka. Yeah? So Vaishaka, one of the 8 principal gopis or cowherd girls, so most close associates of Radha and Krishna. So Vaishaka, she's probably number 2 or maybe number 1 sometimes among those 8. And this is her month. It corresponds to our Western calendar, like April, May, let's say. And why is it significant? So what is special about this month? So how do you think? Anybody has any ideas about what is the significance of this month?
Maybe because of spring.
Springtime. So Krishna said, among the seasons I am in spring. By the way, in India there are 6 seasons. So we have here like 4, maybe less even, because now is a Kali Yuga, climatic anomalies. So we have less, but originally there are 6 seasons. Spring is the best, like Madhuri said. What is the significance of this month? Any other ideas? Yes.
There's a description that the rain starts red.
What do you say?
The rain starts red.
Red?
The rain. Sorry.
Rain.
Yeah.
Rain. Rain season. Rain season in July. July, August, September. The 3 months. Yeah.
I think the Kartik months you mean?
Kartik month is October, November. So now is Vaishaka month. So I try to explain about this time. So what is the significance of this time? So that's called Vaishaka month. Yes.
It's the sowing season.
Which one?
When they sow the seeds in the ground.
Oh, you mean sowing the seeds to preparing for the harvest in the Margashirsha after half an year. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not an agricultural man. I don't know about these things. Maybe somebody knows.
Maybe it's Buddha Day.
Ah?
Buddha Day.
What's it?
Month.
What's this?
It's
Explain us what.
it's crown spirit meeting together on the.
Spirits are meeting together in the sky,
Yeah.
and it's a very significant event.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know about that. So I never read it in the scriptures. Maybe something like that. Anyway, so I'll try to explain what's going on here. Maybe you'll take advantage and it can be useful for you. So we celebrate in this month many significant dates or festivals. Like, for example, coming up soon, Nrsimha Chaturdashi. Yeah? It's a wonderful celebration which is falls on which date? Sunday. 15, yeah? It's coming up, yeah? Next Sunday. So Nrsimha Chaturdashi, very wonderful festival. Then there is Akshaya Tritiya. Are you celebrated? Eh? Akshaya Tritiya, it was 1 week ago. Chandan Yatra. Then also it is saying that opening the gates of Badarikashram, Badri Narayana temple in the Himalayas. It's like a very mysterious temple which is open only half year, and half year is closed because demigods are worshipping there. So now it's opening for the public, public to come. What else going on in this month? It is saying, by the way, creation of this material world happened in this month. Lord Brahma, four-headed Brahma, he created this Brahmanda, or universe, in this month. So due to him, we have this wonderful creation now. We can enjoy in this great city of Köln. But although Brahma not created the city, he created whole entire universe. It's called Brahmanda after his name, because he is Brahma. And therefore it is prescribed to sing the prayers in this month, which are called Govinda Stotram. Or maybe you know that like Brahma Samhita. Those who come in to temple for morning programs, they know greeting of the deities. We sing in few couplets like Venum Kvanvantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Barhavatam Samasida Bunda Sundarangam Kandar Pakuti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Last line everybody knows, yeah? Okay, so we try to explain, it is like multiple levels of understanding, but I'll try to cover something, but we can't cover everything because we have limited time, and also some esoteric part of this teaching. It's not for newcomers. I'm sorry. But of course I'm joking. I can tell you about anyway, so perhaps we do like this. So I'm going to explain the 3 levels of understanding. And you ask along the way. If something may be not applicable to you, so you just ask me. Okay, history of this month. There is a passage from Skanda Purana. Skanda Purana, it's a very ancient and it's the largest amongst all the Puranas. So we have 18 Puranas. 18 Puranas. We read every morning. Which Purana we reading? Mahabhagavad Purana. This is our main Purana. It consists of 18,000 verses. But Skanda Purana consists of 200,000. It's a very huge, largest. So it is explained in this month, Vaishaka significance, Vaishaka month significance. It is saying that Sage Narada, he approached Brahma, four-headed Brahma, creator of this universe, and he asked him to explain about this month. He said, this Vaishaka Masa fulfills all desires of the humans. It's like a loving and caring mother which can fulfill all desires of her child. And in this month, which is dear to Lord Vishnu, grants several boons for those who deserve. Yeah. So, anybody likes get some mercy, some boons, some benedictions from the Supreme Lord? Is anybody like? Nobody. It is saying that this month is the essence of Dharma. Dharma means religion. It's the essence of Yajna, means sacrifice. It is the essence of Kriya, noble deeds, and it is the essence of Tapasya, or austerities. So in Vaishaka Months, which is virtue prone, it's like it's meant for create piety. Piety means good deeds which you can accumulate, some pious credits. This month is meant for. And it is saying that like pranava means sound vibration, om, om, yogis are chanting, is like a superlative of all mantras. Or kalpa vriksha is a desire fulfilling tree, which is the topmost of all trees. It's like a Surya Dev, who is a most superior to all among all radiant objects. And Sudarshan Chakra is the most powerful weapon among the Shastras and Astras, among the weaponaries. Gold is the best of all metals, or Shiva is unique among the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva. And Kaustubha gem is the best among the jewels. Yeah? In the same way, the best month within the year is Vaishaka Months. So now is Vaishaka Months going on. Don't forget. Just like there is no yuga like Satya Yuga, now is the Kali Yuga. No charity like that of water. If you're giving water to anybody, it's the best charity. No prosperity like farming. No tapasya like fasting. Take fast. No happiness like giving away something. And no virtue like mercy or forgiving. No superiority like good health. And above all is no Bhagavan like a Vishnu. So Vishnu, he is the Supreme Lord. In the same way, there is a month of Vaishaka. He is the best of all months. It is saying in Skanda Purana, yes. So Shastra, scriptures, revealed scriptures, they prescribe different variety of pious activities in this month, like to increase your punya, your accumulated pious credits. So, for example, what you can do in this month just to get, good virtue. The first one is called Jala Dana. Jala means water, so you're giving Jala. Maybe it's not, not applicable here in Western world, but in the East it's very good charity. So to give water to the public, to the travelers, those who come in for pilgrimage. What else? Yeah, also planting trees for shade, providing umbrellas, footwear, or like shoes, giving giving shelter. Also anadana. Anadana means giving food, like distributing food, like we're doing Food for Life. Food for Life is a very prominent program. Nowadays it's like become very helpful in Ukraine, for example. Yeah? So many people just surviving on that. Anadan, it's called Anadan. Midday meal or free accommodation, give free accommodation to the people in guest houses, in different dharmashalas for pilgrims. And donors, those who are those who given items automatically receive all the benefits in this current life, and param means in the next life. So they're getting. And there is some story about one Brahman priest. So there is a story from Puranas. It is explained that there was a Brahman who had a very good wife, but he was very poor, poverty-stricken Brahman. So mostly Brahmanas, they are not really rich. and he got a good wife. So, and whatever little money he had, he just would spend them somehow. So also he did not have children. And under the strong request of his wife, he approached to one sage, his name Vaishaka Muni. You know Vaishaka, he's a famous sage. So he approached to him and he asked him about why he is so poor, why there is no luck or fortune in his life. So Vaishaka, he explained about his previous life. He said, you was very rich and you also had a big family, many children. So you was in very good stand in your previous life. But also he was a stingy, like greedy person. So he did not spend even for his own children. And yeah. And then Brahmana asked Vaishaka Muni, why he got such a good wife? So that Muni replied that somehow or other, for some reason, he observed this vrata in Vaishaka Months, and it left off maybe 5 days of that month. He not observed full months, but only 5 days. And due to that, he got next birth like Brahmana and also very good wife. So because of 5 days of his vrata, so he attained such a position. So Brahmana is considered to be topmost of the society, of Vedic society. So he became a Brahmana, he got a good wife, but he was a poor because he spent his money not in a proper way. And Vaishaka Muni advised him. So now left off maybe 7 days of that month. He just happened to arrive to that Muni in the same month. So he said, you just spent 7 days of this month just to uphold this vrata of Vaishaka vrata months. You just do this vrata. And he does it, and he done it finally. And since that Brahman observed this vrata of Vaishaka months, left out of the 7 days, so he got a son, he became rich, he became happy, and ultimately he got a love of Godhead, and he went back home, back to Godhead. So he came back to the spiritual world. Because of the 7 days of the months of Vaishaka, he just performed this vrata. So he fulfilled all his material desires, and also he attained perfection, spiritual perfection. And he came back home, back to Godhead. Yeah, nice. You see, 7 days. So now we have 8 days left off of this month. 8 days. You see, even more than that Brahman. So because end of this vrata will fall on the 16th of May. So we still have 8 days to go. So is anybody likes to continue with this vrata? Try to do this vrata, Vaishaka vrata? Huh? Prabhu wants.
What is it? What is the vrata? What should one observe?
It's a secret, I'll tell you later. Yeah, I've got some confirmation. It's called Chih Pramana. You know, Pramana is evidence, and Chih Pramana. So I've got kind of prescribed duties which you can perform in this vrata. It's very easy. It's not so complicated. You can do this. I'll tell you later if you stay till the end. Okay, 8 days left off of this month, so we can do this vrata till the 16th of May. It's very good chances, yeah. Although, you see, that's what I told you, it's not our philosophy actually. So we not follow this kind of section of the Vedas, which is called karma kanda. That's called ritualistic performance in order to attain some, piety, some good result of your religious activities. And then we'll enjoy comfortable life in this world, or maybe you can be elevated to the higher planets and enjoy there in paradise. You see, so we not follow this kind of things because that's called cheating religion. it's not really religion, it's kind of business. So I want to make a business, so, with God. And because we are followers of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, we have this on the altar. The 6 Goswamis, it's the last picture on the first level from the bottom. So Rupa Goswami, he actually established for us philosophical paradigm. He explained our idea. So what is our aspiration, higher aspiration? So he said, Anabhilasheta shunyam, jnana karma dhyanavritam, anukulyena krishnanushilanam, bhakti uttama. So he said, we want to please Krishna. You see, that's our happiness. So, by cost of any other happiness. So we want to please Krishna. It is given definition. One should render transcendental love and service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably, without any desire of material profit or gain through the fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. So this is called pure devotional service. That's what we inspire for. Yeah? Is it okay? It's a good idea. How do you think? Sounds a little bit not really inspiring. So we want to please Krishna. That's our idea. That's our perspective or philosophy or philosophical paradigm about religion. So we want to please Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So He is the source of everything. He is the source of all pleasure. So He is an all-attractive person. So if we please Him, so we'll get anything. All our material needs will be fulfilled. And most above that, so all our spiritual needs, which are most prominent because we are spirit souls, we know these bodies. So we want to fulfill the intimate desires of our heart. And that only can possible only through the pure love and devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna. Are you agree? Yeah? So therefore we don't perform this punya karma, we don't go in for this kind of ritualistic things like anadana or jaladana or whatever dana. So we just follow Srila Rupa Goswami, 6 Goswamis. Like for example, Radhanath Das, he said in his Manak Shiksha, his prayers, he said, Na dharmam shutiganam nirukta kilakuru vraja Radha Krishna prachurya paricharitam ihatanam. This is Sanskrit. So he said, oh my dear mind. So he addressed to his mind, he praying to his mind. He's saying, oh my dear mind, please do not perform ever the routine religious activities resulting in piety, dharma, or the irreligious activity resulting in a sin, adharma. As mentioned in the Shastras or in the Shrutis or Vedas, rather you should render profuse loving service to the Radha Krishna Yugala in Vraj. For the Shruti have ascertained them to be the highest principle of supreme worship and the supreme absolute truth. So he said, in other words, he said, just worship Radha and Krishna in Vraj. That's our higher aspiration. Do not do pious or impious activities. Do not do sin or do not do virtue. Just give up all. Just serve Radha and Krishna. So that's our mood. And we don't do piety, we don't do this kind of dharma things, but still we do one thing. We do one. Maybe not one, but I found this one. And this is called Jaladan. So we're doing Jaladan in this month. But we're doing this not for the public, but we're doing this for, that's called Tadiya Vastu, or objects which are connected to Krishna. So we're doing Jaladan for Tulasi. You know Tulasi, Vrindadevi, Tulasi? It's like a dripping water from the clay pot, which is these drops of water coming on the Tulasi. And it's very helpful in the hot season in India, where there is heat waves are going. And you can watering Tulasi in this way. Tulasi is a holy tree which we are worshipping. And this is called Tulasi Jaladan, or giving water to Tulasi. Maybe it's not, like applicable to in the Western world because we don't have such a hot season. But anyway, so we worship Tulasi in this month. So this is our vrata. Sometimes it's called also Shalagram Tulasi, Vivaha or Jaladan. Vivaha means marriage, or Jaladan, giving water to Shalagram. Shalagram is a representative of Lord Vishnu, which is like a stone, but it's found in a special place, which is called Gandaki River in the Himalayas. And it's directly Vishnu himself. So Vishnu manifested through the stone. There is some legend behind it. So it's mentioned in Puranas. So that's called Shalagram Tulasi Vivaha, or marriage of Shalagram and Tulasi. And it's a great festival which is going on now in the Vaishaka Months, or sometimes it's also going in the Kartik months. It's very, very bright, very spectacular festival, very emotional. So many things are going. And many devotees at this, following this vrata, they offer 108 Tulasi leaves to the Shalagram, to the holy stone, while chanting Gopal mantra. Gopal mantra is a secret mantra. I'll not give you. It's only for twice initiated devotees. It's a secret mantra. But also you can find it in Prabhupada's book. Sometimes Prabhupada mentioned this. And it is saying in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Krishna loves his devotees so much that he is willing to give himself to them for tulasi leaf and handful of water when we're giving him with love and devotion. So Krishna is willing to give himself. And also scripture recommended different things, like for example, control the senses and maybe sleep on the ground, not on a bed, soft bed, bathe in a holy river, going to Ganges or Yamuna, so we don't have here around. Maybe what is called rain, huh? Rhine, holy river of Rhine. We can go there and take a bus. Twice a day, worship the Lord, give charity to the Brahmanas, worship Krishna in this month, and you will get the fruits of worship for whole year. So just worshiping Krishna in this month, you will get accumulated pious credits for whole year. And there is a long story of Tulasi Devi. I don't know how much time we have actually.
4 o'clock.
15 minutes. So I have this. I just only began, to explain everything. So I have this history of Tulasi Devi, and also have another pastime of Krishna in Vrindavan. And maybe we can go for question and answers. I don't know. What do you like me to do? Huh? History of Tulasi is okay. Does anybody agree? History of Tulasi is okay, yeah? If there is no questions. Yeah? So okay, history of Tulasi Devi. It's a long story, but I try to make long story short and just explain you. That story from Puranas. The story of Tulasi described as follows. It is saying that Tulasi is one of the beloved gopis of Krishna in the spiritual world. Her name is Vrinda Devi. She lives in the spiritual world, eternal associate of Krishna. It's called Nitya Parishad, eternally liberated soul. So she close friend of Shrimati Radhika also. And one day, Shrimati Radhika, she discovered that Tulasi met with Krishna without knowing without Radha knowing about this fact. So they met together in a secluded place, in an isolated place, in some of the kunjas of Vrindavana, without her permission. So Radha became angry and she cursed her. It is not saying in Srimad Bhagavatam, that's not our, but It is explained in Puranas. To take birth on the earth in a human body. Yeah. And in the course of this history, somehow or other, in due course, Krishna appears on the arena, on the spot, and Tulasi became frightened by this curse, and she took shelter of Krishna. And Krishna said to her, "Don't worry, accept this human body and perform austerities, and I will relieve you from this kind of situation. You regain me again, so you unite with me afterwards." So at request of Krishna, Tulasi, she was born on the earth. She descended, she, let's say, fell down, or I don't know how to say. Nobody falls down from the spiritual world, but somehow or other, by this curse, she descended, and she took a form of daughter of King Dharmaraj. And she was very beautiful lady. So you could compare with her beauty with our qualities with anyone else. And that's why her name became Tulasi. Tulasi means incomparable. She's incomparable. You can't compare with anyone. And Tulasi went to forest and subjected herself for austerities, to perform different severe austerities, to please Lord Brahma. She started to pray, meditate, to fast, or to stay on one leg, or whatever. And after some times, Lord Brahma, being pleased by her austerity, he appeared at the front of her, and she said, "I was a gopi in Goloka." She was a gopi, friend of Krishna, girlfriend of Krishna, and she explained that she was cursed by Radha to got human body, and she also told that when she took a shelter of Krishna, Krishna like promised her so that she will reunite with him after a while. So here in the story, Brahma, he granted her blessings. He said, "Okay, so you will get married on Narayana." Narayana is one of the incarnations of Krishna. So Lord Brahma said, also one coverhead boy, his name Sudam, and he also been cursed by Radha because another incident which is happening in Goloka, and he took a form of demon. His name was Shankachuda, Shankasura. Shanka means conch and Asur means demon. So those who lives in Shanka, in conch, in the sea there is a conch. So he lives in the sea, Shankasura. So he becomes so powerful, and he conquered over the three worlds. So he chased away demigods from the heavenly planets. He became like emperor. He was very strong, and because of chastity of his wife. So I did not tell you. So Brahma said, so you should marry this Shankasura, and you become a good wife, chaste wife, and then after a while Lord Narayana will descend, manifest himself, and he will kill the demon, and you become a wife of Lord Narayana. Somehow or other, the story will come to this point. Lord Brahma gave a special Radha mantra to her, and she started to perform new austerity. And then Shankachuda, he descended, like this Sudama, coverhead boy, he became Shankachuda, Shankasura, and he came down to the material world, and he conquered over the heavenly planets. He overthrew the demigods from their position from the heaven, and he was very powerful because due to of chastity of his wife, which is a Tulasi. So Tulasi became a wife of this demon. And all the demigods, they became desperate. So they came to Brahma, they asked what we can do about it, so how we can get rid of all these demons. Like nowadays, so many demons in this world, so they just create havoc in this world and do many like atrocities and calamities. So in the same way, so demigods being disturbed, they came to Brahma, they said, so how we can get relief from this demon, which is very powerful. Brahma, he didn't know what to say, he came to Shiva. Lord Shiva said also, I don't know what to do. So he came to Narayana, to Supreme, to the spiritual world, to the spiritual sky, to his abode. And he asked what to do. And Lord Narayana, he said, so I'm going to descend soon, I'm going to come down to material world. And I'll make arrangements. So I'll kill this demon by assuming the form of Shankasura and unite with this Tulasi. And through that she will lose her chastity and this demon will be killed by the demigods. So Lord Krishna, being Narayana himself, so he descended in the material world, so he created this trick. So one day he assumed the form of Shankasura and he came to Tulasi. Tulasi, not knowing about that this is Narayana in disguise, she united with him, and so he lost her chastity because according to this Lila, it's not her husband, although Narayana is the husband of all living entities, according to Tattva, not according to Lila. Lila means pastimes. And immediately this Shankasura, he lost his power. He became powerless, and demigods killed him. So Tulasi became really frustrated because of this fact. So her husband died. So she became frustrated, but she didn't understand how it happened. So he was so powerful. Then he realized, so probably somebody took a form, assumed the form of her husband and came at the front of her. So probably that was a Narayana himself. Who else could do this? And he cursed, she cursed him. She said, you become a stone because you're doing things like, you don't have a heart. Why are you doing this? You become stone. And Vishnu, in response, he said, okay, but you become a tree. He gave her blessings. You become a tree, as this prominent tree, Tulasi tree, which we're having now. So this Tulasi, she assumed the form of the Tulasi, but he assumed the form of the stone, which is Shalagram Shiva. And since that time, he lives in a river, which is called Gandaki River. And this is like a body of Tulasi. And her hairs considered to be Tulasi tree. So, and from that time, they become wife and husband. And it's called Shalagram Vivaha, Tulasi Shalagram Vivaha, or marriage or wedding of Tulasi, Vrindadevi and Lord Narayana in the form of the Shalagram. That's why in this month we worship in Shalagram and Tulasi, and we're doing Jaladan, we're doing many different ceremonies, and we worship and we're praying for them. And this is like a Vaishnava Vrata, it's authentic Vaishnava Vrata, so we worship him in this month, and this is very prominent among the Gaudiyas. So we belong to this tradition, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and this is very good Vrata. So there is another Lila of Krishna, but maybe we don't have time for it, so I'm stop here. It's okay? So I'm stop here maybe, and yeah, Prabhu asked me about what kind of austerities, what kind of vrata we can take in this month, yeah, just to get good result. Yeah, I'll tell you now. It's not a complicated vrata, so we can do it. Still left of 8 days of this month, and I'll tell you now. Just yeah, it's not so complicated. So you see, just during this Keshava, it's called Keshava or Vaishaka vrata. We can sing Keshava Ashtaka prayers. This is specific prayers written by Srila Rupa Goswami. He written it in, I have this, some books, Stavavali, it's called Stavavali. So you can read these prayers every day. You recite these 8 couplets, which is glorifying Lord Krishna by the name of Keshava. Like last line of each verse, it is saying, Vraja Vijayanam Vraja Vipina Deshata Keshava. It is saying that Lord Keshava, who returning from the forest to the village of Vraja, I worship that Lord Shri Keshava. So there are 8 prayers. It's called Keshava Ashtaka. Ashtaka means 8. So you recite these prayers. Also, you can go to take a bath in the holy river. So we don't have a Jamuna or Ganga, so we can take a bath in the Rhine. We can do arati. We can worship Krishna. Offer some pushpa, flowers to the Shalagram Shila and to Tulasi. We sing kirtan. We recite Ashtaka. We also can recite Vrinda Devi Ashtaka. It is another prayers which is meant for Tulasi Devi. And also we can recite Brahma Samhita, which is Govinda prayers. Govinda Stotra. Also we can meditate on this lila. We can fast maybe on the sweets, on the milk sweets if you want. You can fast, but it's maybe more difficult. But actually our vrata, so basically for Vaishnavas, for devotees, there are 3 prominent things we can do. 3 things. That's called Nama Seva, Shastra Seva, and Vaishnava Seva. So 3 types of sevas we can do. Nama Seva means chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we can chant more than Shastra Seva. We can read more Srila Prabhupada's books, and that's our main Shastra. And Vaishnava Seva means we can do more service to the Vaishnavas. So these 3 things which are always work. So just increase your Seva. That's it. So we're already doing it. So just increase. Shastra Seva, Nama Seva, Vaishnava Seva. These are 3 best things which you can do in this month. You can accumulate lots of pious credits, but not like temporary asat, which you're gonna wash away or consume. That will be finished. So you can accumulate Bhakti Sukriti, which is eternal and which always in your spiritual bank account. You never spend it, you never consume it. So it's always there. And it's very strong currency. Bhakti currency are very strong. You never lose it, you never consume it. It's always with you on your spiritual bank account. And you can convert it in any different types of currency, like karma, jnana, and yoga, if you want. But still your Bhakti currency are there. So you never spend it. Okay, maybe some other questions, comments, or any complaints? Anyone like to ask something? Yeah,
Scriptures, wo steht das in den Schriften? Srimad Bhagavatam, is it written in Srimad Bhagavatam, which canto, which was?
This story,
Yeah, with Tulasi.
history of Tulasi is not in Bhagavad Purana, because you see some curses are going on there. It's not our mood. It's from different Puranas. But it's mentioned in our scriptures, in Vaishnava scriptures, in Bhakti Shastra. It is mentioned that there is a story of Tulasi, which she has been cursed by Shirada, and she assumed a form of Tulasi. But it's Krishna's arrangement. You see, like Jai Vijay. Jai and Vijay have also been cursed, so-called curse. And they descended just to fulfill the purpose, to participate in Krishna Lila, because Krishna wanted to fight Virya Bhava, He wanted to perform heroic deeds. That's why he arranged this thing. So 4 Kumaras came to the spiritual world, to the gate of Vaikuntha, and they cursed those 2 doorkeepers. And actually, the eternal associates of Krishna, they cannot fall down from spiritual world. But because they want to satisfy Krishna, they descended for 3 births. And they assumed forms of the demons, and they fought with Krishna, they fought with him. And so Krishna was happy, and they have also been happy. Yeah. In the same way, Tulasi also, she descended just to give benefits to entire creation. So everyone now has huge mercy by worshipping Tulasi, by offering Tulasi to Krishna, and to increase your bhakti, to your devotion, and build up your bhakti, and just go back home, back to Godhead. So that's a huge mercy for entire population of this universe. You see? That's why Tulasi did it.
And which Purana exactly?
I can't say you now, but I'll tell you later if you'll give me time. So I'll find it.
Last little question.
Yeah.
You speak about curses.
Yeah.
Vaishnava.
In Vaishnava circle,
Vaishnava.
yeah, in Vaishnava circle there is no curse.
And okay, but if there exists other curses out of Vaishnava.
Yes, of course.
And,
Yeah.
maybe these curses are eternal.
Eternal?
Yes.
No, it doesn't work. I mean, curses are not eternal. That's material kind of type of reciprocation, because in spiritual world there is no curse. Nobody cursing anyone, because they are living in loving relationships and carrying loving without any selfish motives. But here in the material world, so everyone is fighting with each other for selfish interests. That's why some curses are going on, some things. But in the Vedic circle, sometimes sages are using curse just to correct, to reform person, not for their own like kind of selfish interest, agenda. No, just to correct, to reform. If somebody is doing some nonsense, like two demigods, their names Nala Kovara and Manigriva. So we chant in Ashtaka, the two these prominent demigods, they fell, they became trees, because Narada Muni was passing by, they enjoying with the women in the lake, in the celestial realm, and Narada Muni cursed them. Why? Because just to correct, to reform them. And then they got the mercy of Krishna, because Krishna performed his pastimes in the same courtyard where there were the two trees of Arjuna, so they became trees. And Krishna gave them mercy, he gave them prema. They returned back home, back to Godhead after that. Although they've been maybe trees for 800 years, something like that, little extended time, but then they got huge mercy.
Okay, but out of the Vaishnava now, curses, maybe there are eternal. Out of Vaishnava now.
Out of Vaishnava?
Yes, in other religions.
Oh, religions, curse.
Yes, curse in other religions.
Curse is never eternal. Any material things are never eternal. It lasts for some period of time, and then it's finished, because it's like a karma. Karma is temporary, curse is temporary. Everything in the material world is temporary. We are temporary, our bodies, everything which is surrounded us, temporary, our relationship, our society, this country, this city, what is going on now, it's everything temporary. So if we invest our time, energy in temporary things, so what we're gonna get in the future? Just we implicate ourselves in new birth, a new circle, that's it. To continue with temporary things. But curse is also temporary. Curse or gain or victory or failure, that's everything temporary, you see. What is eternal? What is eternal? It's an important point. What is eternal? Worship to Krishna. Bhakti is eternal. So we have to invest our time in this devotional service while we're in a temporary realm of existence. So we have to invest in eternal things. And then we'll get huge benefit, huge gain. It's called Sat, eternal. Something else you wanted to say? I just interrupted you.
You can't understand. Maybe I can ask you
Later. Oh, okay, no problem. I will speak. Okay, the last point. Maybe some small question or yes, bro?
I remember the story of a devotee. I don't remember his name, but he has a Shalagram and he was worshipping Krishna also. And he has a lot of devotion. So he offered some boga, and he was waiting for Krishna to eat it.
Oh.
So he was waiting for one day.
Yeah.
Appear. Then he waited like almost 1 week, and then Krishna himself appeared and he ate it, and he was satisfied. He told the devotee like, "Tell me, I will give you anything." And the devotee was so humble, he didn't say anything. So Krishna said, "Do you want like material riches? Do you want opulence?" He said, "No, my lord." So Krishna told him, "Do you want mukti?" He said, "No." He said, like, what would you want? Anything. And then the devotee said, like, "I only want your eternal service and your prema, Krishna prema." And so I mean, like, how difficult it is to achieve this love to Krishna. Like, because I heard it's like among millions of people, Krishna gives it to one. Like, it's very, very rare that Krishna gives prema to someone.
So the question is how difficult to attain Krishna prema, right? So how difficult is it? What is the easy in this world? Let's ask. What's the easy thing in this world? To become president of the country is easy? It's very difficult. To become rich like millionaire or billionaire like Bill Gates, it's very difficult. To become a king of the heavenly planets like Indra, or become creator of this universe like a Brahma, it's very difficult. So you have to perform like hundreds lifetimes your prescribed duties in a spotless way. So that, can you imagine how is it difficult? So anything is difficult in this world because everything based on tapasya, on austerities. So this world is moved by tapasya. So you have to do something. You have to every day you have to go to the work and get some, like little things to what is called, so that your trousers are not fall down. Just fasten your belt. So everything based on you have to do something, and to get Krishna Bhakti, if you like different acharyas saying different things. Prabhupada said, if you're serious, sincere, and strict, you can get in one lifetime. If you dedicate whole your life, like fully concentrated to the goal, never deviates from, do not want anything else, and fully surrender, and do this like in very strict way. So one lifetime, and you'll become there. And it's very less price. It's a very, it's not big deal because we are here billion lifetimes, unlimited lifetimes. So there is no beginning of our what is called prison sentence in this material world. There is no beginning. It's called anadi. Anadi means adi, with beginning. Anadi, there is no beginning. So we anadir bahirmukha. We turn our face from Krishna from the time immemorial. There is no time which is marked in the history. So what is it? One lifetime just to spend for? And also this is part of, you see, this is, I can't calculate how much time you need because this is part of mercy. That's called kripa mark. Kripa means mercy. You fall in the kripa mark. And you can run on this way just with closed eyes, without being fall or injure yourself or whatever. So you see, this is kripa mark. So you'll get kripa. Maybe tomorrow you'll get bhakti. Who knows? Maybe 3 lifetimes. Who knows? So it depends on your sincerity. Depends on your heart, of your devotion, on your devotion. Krishna gives you mercy because that's kripa mark. Or Vaishnava, you have to meet pure devotee. So pure devotee will give you bhakti, immediately will give you love of Godhead. Immediately. That's very amazing. So I can't calculate how much time you need, but that depends on our sincerity and our desire. If you have intense desire, intense attachment, like you see, like we want in this world, we want money, adoration, name, fame. In the same intensity, if you want Krishna, in same intensity, same, like loba, or what is called eagerness. Yeah. If you got same eagerness, so you'll attain Krishna very easily. So you have to you have to build up your Krishna consciousness. And this is part of Kripa mark. So you'll get this by the mercy of devotees or Krishna. And it will happen maybe soon. Who knows? Maybe we'll become pure devotee very soon, and then will help us and bring us, uplift our consciousness, bring us back home, back to Godhead. Okay, finish. Our authorities asking us to stop, otherwise I'm gonna get trouble. So we'll speak later, maybe with those who have any questions. So thank you very much for joining, for tolerating me today, for coming to this wonderful program, Sundara Feast. So now we're gonna have chanting and dancing. So remember, I told you there are 4 parts of this program: dancing, chanting, feasting, and philosophy. So philosophy passed already, so it's the most boring part. You see, some of the people already sleeping, even here. So I told you it's going to be a sleepy program. So next part is dancing and chanting. So let's do this with full-fledged sincerity and enthusiasm. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai Granth Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Jai Shishi Vijay Gauranga Doyal Nitai ki, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Gaur Premanande.